Hello everyone, Red Lip here. Las Vegas, the city where buffets once ruled supreme, where tourists lined up for hours to pile their plates high with mediocre, mass-produced meals. But somewhere between the pandemic shutdowns and the Strip's relentless pursuit of premium experiences, we lost something special. The art of all-you-can-eat dining seemed to fade into Vegas history, replaced by $300 tasting menus and celebrity chef showpieces. Well, I'm here to tell you that reports of the buffet's death have been greatly exaggerated. In fact, I've discovered something that not only resurrects the all-you-can-eat tradition, but elevates it to heights even the Golden Age buffets never reached. We've done the legwork, tasted every dish, and endured the food comas, so you don't have to waste your precious Vegas vacation dollars on disappointments. Today's question isn't whether Vegas still does all-you-can-eat. It's whether you're ready for what might be the most sophisticated, unlimited dining experience on the Strip. The Game Changer. Welcome to Caramella Italian Restaurant, nestled inside Planet Hollywood Resort and Casino. This isn't your grandmother's buffet with sad heat lamps and questionable seafood that's been sitting out since dawn. What we have here is nothing short of a revolution in Vegas dining. A full-service restaurant masquerading as an all-you-can-eat experience. Every single dish arrives made fresh to order, crafted with the same care you'd expect from a Michelin-starred kitchen. The format is brilliantly simple, yet revolutionary for Vegas. Brunch runs every Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., priced at $55 per person for unlimited ordering. Unlike those trendy all-you-can-eat sushi joints that charge you penalties for leaving a grain of rice behind, Caramella actually encourages exploration. They want you to taste, to experiment, to discover your new favorites without the guilt of waste. The opening act. Your culinary journey begins with what seems like a modest offering. Breakfast pastries, including a soft croissant filled with fruit jam and a mini chocolate donut. These arrive warm from the oven, the croissant still releasing wisps of buttery steam. The texture hits immediately, that perfect shatter of flaky layers giving way to a tender, pillowy interior. The aroma of fresh-baked French pastry mingles with the sweetness of house-made jam. Seasoning here means restraint. Just enough sugar to enhance without overwhelming. The technique shows in every laminated layer, a testament to proper proofing and patient folding. The emotion? It takes you back to that Parisian cafe you stumbled into during your honeymoon, when life was simpler and calories didn't count. Not earth-shattering on their own, but these pastries send a clear message. If they're putting this much effort into the opening act, imagine what's coming next. The seafood revelation. Then arrives what I'm prepared to call the best shrimp cocktail currently available in Las Vegas. Yes, you heard that correctly. Better than the legendary St. Elmo's at the Cosmopolitan. More pristine than what you'll find at Joe's Seafood. These aren't your typical casino shrimp that taste like they've been marinating in disappointment since last Tuesday. Each crustacean arrives chilled over crushed ice, practically glowing with an iridescent sheen that suggests they were swimming in the Pacific yesterday morning. The texture is everything shrimp should be. Firm yet yielding, with that perfect snap between your teeth. Aroma-wise, they smell like the ocean on a good day. Clean, briny, with no hint of that ammonia scent that plagues lesser establishments. Seasoning comes from a dusting of freshly grated horseradish that provides a sinus-clearing wake-up call. The technique of poaching is masterful, not a second over or under, preserving that natural sweetness. Emotionally, these shrimp make you question every bland, rubbery specimen you've ever forced down at a Vegas buffet. The accompanying sauces, a bold cocktail sauce, and a spicy remoulade that rivals anything I've created in my own kitchen, elevate the experience from excellent to transcendent. Pasta perfection, the cavatelli. Now let's discuss the cavatelli with bolognese, a dish that transports you straight to a trattoria in Bologna. Cavatelli, those little shell-shaped pasta pieces, date back to southern Italy, where nonnas made them by hand with just flour and water. Meanwhile, the bolognese sauce, or ragu alla bolognese to be properly Italian about it, originated in Bologna, where families have been arguing about the correct recipe for centuries. Caramella makes their cavatelli from scratch, and the difference is immediately apparent. The texture achieves that elusive al dente perfection, tender but with backbone, each piece capturing sauce in its curved shell. The aroma hits you before the fork reaches your mouth. beef, veal, and pork mingling with the holy trinity of celery, carrots, and onions. Seasoning is subtle but sophisticated, with just enough garlic to announce its presence without dominating. The technique shows hours of slow simmering, building layers of flavor that only time and patience can achieve. This dish emotionally connects me to Sunday dinners at my Nona's table, where sauce was sacred and seconds were mandatory. It's the kind of authentic Italian cooking that's increasingly rare in Vegas, where Italian often means drowning everything in cream and calling it a day. The Sicilian surprise. The arancini arrive looking like golden orbs of promise, and they don't disappoint. These deep-fried risotto balls trace their origins to the 10th century Sicily during Arab rule, though I doubt the Arabs topped theirs with tuna tartare. The texture contrast is genius. A shatteringly crispy exterior giving way to creamy, almost molten risotto within. Appearance-wise, they're Instagram gold, topped with ruby-red tuna cubes that glisten under the lights. A whisper of fennel in the seasoning adds an unexpected anise note that plays beautifully with the tuna. The technique of achieving that perfect crust while maintaining the risotto's creaminess is no small feat. Emotionally, this dish makes you feel sophisticated, like you should be discussing Fellini films while sipping Aperol. It's a brilliant fusion of old-world tradition and modern Vegas innovation. Exactly what the Strip needs more of. The aristocratic salad. The prosciutto and fig salad reads like a love letter to Italian simplicity. Prosciutto di Parma, aged for months until it reaches that perfect balance of salt and sweet, draped over fresh figs like silk scarves. The combination of cured pork and fresh figs dates back to Roman times, proving that some pairings are simply eternal. Add a drizzle of aged balsamic reduction, we're talking 12-year-old vinegar here, and fresh mint, and you have aristocracy on a plate. The texture plays between the paper-thin prosciutto that melts on your tongue and the jammy sweetness of ripe figs. Visually, it's a still-life painting come to life. All burgundies and golds against fresh green. The seasoning comes from the prosciutto's cure and the concentrated sweetness of reduced balsamic. Technically, it's about sourcing and restraint, knowing when to stop adding elements. This salad evokes late summer evenings in Tuscany, even if you're sitting in a casino at 11 a.m. It's the kind of dish that makes you slow down and savor. A rarity in Vegas's eat-and-run culture. Ocean's bounty. The oysters. Let's address the oysters, because any Vegas brunch charging $55 better deliver on the raw bar. These beauties are shucked to order. None of that pre-shucked nonsense sitting in mystery liquid. Historically, oysters were working-class food in the 19th century America, before transforming into symbols of luxury. At Caramella, they've earned their elite status, with pristine specimens that taste like diving into the Pacific. The texture is firm yet creamy, with that distinctive oceanic slip that defines a quality oyster. Aroma-wise, they smell like sea spray and minerals, with no off-putting fishiness. The seasoning comes from two preparations, a punchy cocktail sauce and a classic mignonette with shallots and vinegar. The technique of proper shucking preserves the liquor, that briny juice that's half the pleasure. Emotionally, unlimited oysters at brunch makes you feel like a Rockefeller, even if you're staying at Bally's. This alone justifies the price point. Try getting unlimited oysters anywhere else on the Strip for $55. The disappointment. Not everything can be a winner, and the Caesar salad proves that even champions have off days. It's not terrible. The shaved fennel adds a subtle licorice note. The arugula provides peppery contrast, but compared to its menu mates, it's like bringing a butter knife to a sword fight. There's no spark, no memorable element that makes you think, I need another one of those. The texture is fine. Crisp romaine, crunchy croutons, properly shaved Parmesan. But when you're surrounded by excellence, fine feels like failure. This is the salad you order when your doctor has been giving you lectures about vegetables. Next time, I'll skip it entirely and use that stomach space for another round of those transcendent shrimp. Southern comfort meets Belgian dreams. The chicken and waffles arrive looking like a fever dream from a southern grandmother's kitchen. Belgian waffles, lighter than cumulus clouds, serve as the foundation for crispy fried chicken that would make Colonel Sanders weep. This combination likely originated in the American South, but it was Harlem's jazz clubs in the 1930s that made it legendary. It was the perfect compromise for musicians. Breakfast for those just waking up, dinner for those just getting in. The texture symphony is remarkable. crispy, seasoned batter giving way to juicy white meat, all atop those cloud-like waffles. The aroma alone could convert vegetarians. Fried chicken perfume mixed with sweet waffle steam and a hint of bourbon. Seasoning on the chicken is bold without being aggressive, while the waffles maintain their subtle sweetness. The technique shows in the chicken's crust, shatteringly crispy, yet adhering perfectly to the meat. Emotionally, this is comfort food at its apex. The kind of dish that makes you want to call your mother and apologize for not visiting more. The bourbon-infused maple syrup and candied pecans push it from excellent to extraordinary. The carbonara revelation. True carbonara is a Roman classic. Just eggs, pecorino cheese, guanciale, and black pepper. No cream, despite what every suburban Italian restaurant wants you to believe. Caramella's version respects tradition while adding their own Vegas flair. The pasta arrives glistening, each strand coated in that silky egg and cheese emulsion that defines proper carbonara. The texture of the house-made pasta is perfection, tender but with enough chew to stand up to the rich sauce. Aroma-wise, the pancetta, they use this instead of traditional guanciale, releases its porky perfume with each forkful. Seasoning relies heavily on black pepper, as it should, with pecorino providing the salt. The technique of achieving that creamy sauce without scrambling the eggs requires skill and timing. This dish emotionally validates every time you've argued with someone about what real carbonara should be. It's rich enough to make you close your eyes on the first bite, yet somehow you keep going back for more. The bread basket of dreams. Friends, we need to discuss the garlic bread, because calling it garlic bread is like calling the Bellagio fountains some water. This is garlic bread that would make the gods on Mount Olympus abandon ambrosia. Each slice of house-baked bread is split and stuffed with enough cheese to qualify as a calcium supplement. The garlic is unapologetic. This isn't for first dates, unless you're both ordering it. The texture hits every note. Crusty exterior, soft interior, molten cheese creating strings with every pull. The aroma could be weaponized. Roasted garlic, melted cheese, and herbs create an olfactory assault in the best way. Seasoning is bold and correct. Plenty of garlic, herbs, and that perfect amount of salt that makes you keep reaching for more. Technically, the balance between crispy and gooey is masterful. Emotionally, this bread makes you angry at every piece of Texas toast you've ever accepted as garlic bread. Served with house-made pesto and their exceptional red sauce, it's dangerously addictive. The spice route. The penne alla arrabbiata arrives with fair warning. This pasta means business. Arrabbiata translates to angry in Italian, and these Calabrian chilies didn't come to play. If you're the type who thinks Taco Bell's mild sauce is adventurous, proceed with extreme caution. This sauce will light up your sinuses and make you question your life choices in the best possible way. The texture of the penne is textbook al dente, each tube capturing that fiery sauce perfectly. The aroma hits you with tomatoes and chili heat before the fork reaches your mouth. Seasoning walks the tightrope between flavorful and painful, though it could use a touch more salt. The technique shows in how the cream tempers the heat just enough without neutering it. Emotionally, this pasta makes you feel alive, like you could fight a gladiator, or at least argue with a parking attendant. It's not for everyone, but for heat lovers, it's absolutely mandatory. The surprise standout. The Florentine pancakes deserve their own holiday. Despite the name suggesting spinach, anything Florentine usually does, these are pure dessert disguised as brunch. The pancakes themselves are fluffy golden discs of perfection, but that's just the beginning. They're topped with whipped mascarpone that tastes like the filling from the world's best cannoli. The texture layers are brilliant. Fluffy pancakes, creamy mascarpone, crunchy hazelnuts, and juicy berries. Visually, they're a Jackson Pollock painting if he worked in breakfast foods. Seasoning comes from vanilla and orange zest in the mascarpone, creating complexity beyond simple sweetness. Technically, achieving pancakes this fluffy while strong enough to support toppings requires precision. Emotionally, these pancakes make you believe in love again, or at least in the possibility of breakfast perfection. Drizzled with that bourbon maple syrup, they transcend food and become a religious experience. The millennial favorite. The avocado toast arrives looking like it stepped out of an Instagram influencer's feed. Before you roll your eyes, remember that mashing avocados on bread dates back to the Aztecs. We just added better photography. The 1920s saw the first recorded mention of avocado toast in Australia, long before millennials were blamed for killing industries. Caramella's version takes an interesting turn, essentially creating a caprese salad on avocado toast. The texture combination works. Creamy avocado, fresh mozzarella, and juicy tomatoes on exceptional house-made bread. The presentation is undeniably photogenic. All greens and reds against golden toast. Seasoning relies on good olive oil, fresh basil, and the natural flavors of ripe produce. Technically, the bread is the star here. So good, it makes you want to try everything else they bake. Emotionally, it's less traditional avocado toast and more Italian-California fusion. Would I order it again? Probably not, but only because there are so many other incredible options calling my name. The grand finale. The tiramisu French toast is how you end a brunch when you want people to remember it forever. Thick slices of brioche are soaked in espresso and Kahlua. Yes, it's exactly as indulgent as it sounds. Tiramisu means pick-me-up in Italian, and this interpretation will lift you straight to heaven. Topped with more of that glorious mascarpone, shaved dark chocolate, and organic maple syrup, it's dessert masquerading as breakfast. The texture plays between the custardy interior of the French toast and the light mascarpone topping. The aroma of espresso and chocolate creates an olfactory symphony that attracts envious glances. Seasoning comes from the coffee, liqueur, and dark chocolate. Adult flavors for an adult breakfast. The technique of soaking without making it soggy requires precise timing. Emotionally, this is the dish that makes you text your friends immediately. Cancel your plans, we're going to brunch. With extra maple syrup, it crosses firmly into dessert territory, which is exactly where a great brunch should end. The verdict. Let's cut through the Vegas hype and speak plainly. Caramella isn't just another brunch spot trying to separate tourists from their money. This is a legitimate culinary experience disguised as an all-you-can-eat deal. At $55 per person, you're not paying for quantity, though you can certainly achieve that if you're determined. You're paying for quality that rivals any a la carte restaurant on the Strip, with the freedom to explore without commitment. The shrimp alone would cost you $30 at any decent seafood restaurant. The oysters? Another $40 at minimum. Add in the exceptional pasta, the transcendent tiramisu French toast, and that life-changing garlic bread, and you've already justified the price 3 times over. But more importantly, everything is made fresh to order. No heat lamps, no steam tables, no wondering how long that hollandaise has been sitting there. The few misses, like the Caesar salad, are so vastly outnumbered by the hits that they barely register. And even the disappointments here would be highlights at most other Vegas brunches. Who should go? Definitely visit. If you love Italian food that respects tradition while embracing innovation, value quality over quantity, but still appreciate the unlimited option. Enjoy leisurely weekend brunches where rushing is discouraged. Want to try high-end dishes without committing to full portions? Maybe skip if you are looking for the cheapest meal on the Strip, prefer Asian cuisine or classic American breakfast exclusively. Need a quick grab-and-go breakfast before hitting the casino floor? Have severe spice sensitivity. Several dishes pack unexpected heat. Pro tips for maximum value. Come hungry, but pace yourself. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Start with the seafood while your palate is fresh. Save the garlic bread for last, unless you want it to dominate everything else. Don't hesitate to ask for modifications. They're surprisingly accommodating. Order the cocktails. Didn't cover them today, but the beverage program is equally impressive. Make reservations, especially for Sunday. Word is getting out fast compared to the competition. Against Wynn's brunch buffet at $65 to $125, Caramella wins on value and freshness, though Wynn has more variety. Against Bouchon's a la carte brunch, similar quality, but Caramella's unlimited format provides better value. Against Hash House's portions, Hash House gives you quantity, Caramella gives you quality. Choose accordingly. Against your typical $19.99 casino buffet, this is Formula One compared to a golf cart. In the landscape of Vegas brunches, Caramella occupies a unique position. It's more sophisticated than a buffet, more casual than fine dining, more affordable than it has any right to be. Hashtag closing thoughts. Las Vegas has always been about excess, but somewhere along the way, excess became synonymous with mediocrity. Caramella proves that unlimited doesn't have to mean underwhelming. This isn't your parents' Vegas buffet, where quantity trumped quality and heartburn was guaranteed. This is what happens when real chefs apply real technique to the all-you-can-eat format. Every dish tells a story. From the Sicilian arancini, to the Roman carbonara, to that absolutely sinful tiramisu French toast. It's a love letter to Italian cuisine written in a language Vegas understands. Indulgence without limits. The service deserves mention too. Attentive without being intrusive, knowledgeable without being pretentious. They genuinely want you to enjoy yourself, and it shows in every interaction. Is it perfect? No, but its imperfections are so minor compared to its triumphs that they barely matter. This is destination dining disguised as casual brunch, and at $55, it might be the best value currently available on the Strip. I've already made reservations for next weekend, and I suggest you do the same. Just don't blame me when you can't button your pants afterward. Some experiences are worth the sacrifice. Until we eat again, this is Red Lip saying, forget what you think you know about Vegas buffets. The game has changed, and Caramella is leading the revolution. Hit that notification bell if you want to know about the next hidden gem before the masses descend. And remember, sharing this video costs nothing, but helps us bring you more honest, unfiltered Vegas dining intelligence.